Welcome to Ron's RC Garage in Peoria, Arizona. It is Sunday, May 22nd. Have my little helper in here today. He's checking everything out. He's good help, honestly. I've got some updates on this RC8T3. I had some questions on cleaning it and how it was working. This is the way it comes off the track. That's after last night. Practice tank, 2 7-minute qualifiers, and a 20-minute main. We finished all the races. We got lucky. Not sure how. I've always said I'd rather be lucky than good. Stay with me a second. I'm going to pull the body off this thing. Alright, we got that done. Sorry about that. Just caught this morning when I unloaded it. Now, I've always said I'd rather be lucky than good. I'm not sure how we finished the main. And just at a quick glance, the leftover control arm was just about history. It broke at some point right there, but it hung in there good enough to give us a 4th place finish in the main. So we'll take it. As far as the cleaning, it's kind of basic, but apparently there's some people new to the hobby that don't. Before this truck runs again, I do it every time after we run it. It will look brand new and be totally checked out. I remove the fuel tank, engine, radio tray, the shocks, and the wing. Just get the wing out of the way. Of course, disassemble the air cleaner. And I take it out in the garage, use hot soap and water and a brush, and make everything brand new again. And then gently hose it off and use lots of air to dry it. Reassemble it, bring it back in here, then reassemble it. Check everything for damage, make any changes I'm going to do, and then retorque every screw on the truck. Service the clutch. I run clutch bearings for 2 weeks. I take them out, clean them, and reverse them, front to rear. And they're still good after 2 weeks, but I don't think it's a good gamble. And I've never had one fail, and for a little over $2, I'm not going to start now. So it's something else I don't have to worry about. This truck, I was very meticulous in the assembly of it, in the kit form. I put the kit setup in it, and it could absolutely be my driving style, but I had some other comments from really good drivers. This truck was terrible. It would do 2 things good. It jumped good and it had good brakes. End of story. As long as you're going straight, you had something nice. You try and turn it, it was so loose you couldn't even ease into the throttle, and around it comes. I run the same track, same engine, and same tires. I prefer, it's just for me, I use the AKA soft impacts. I've been running them both buggy and truggy. So the only variable was the truck itself. So I got on the Associated website. I'll briefly go over what they said to do. Took a little bit of time, but the total expenditure money-wise was about $8. So what I did is what they said. You grind off 4 millimeters off the front control, lower front arms. So you're moving them forward 1 millimeter, and you put a 1 millimeter spacer in the back. Then you put 2 millimeter spacers, I don't know if you can see this, on the sway bar down links. That's the little blue things in there. So you raise them up effectively. You put the associated yellow springs in the front, which are heavier than the stock blue ones. And then I did the hinge pin bushings where they suggested on the modifications. That was it to the front. The rear did the hinge pin locations, moved the rear sway bar down links, ground the arms, and moved them back 3 millimeters, thus the little red spacers in there. and move the hubs all the way forward, rear hubs, effectively shortening the wheelbase on a truck. Stay with the rear kit blue springs. Drop the ride height 1 millimeter front and rear, 37/41. Took this setup out last night for the first time, and it was like a different truck. The rear end was glue. It really, really did well. So we're about done with that for a little while. It's handling well. It did well. Everybody that I know noticed a difference. Said, "Ron, that thing's working now." I said, "Well, yeah, it is." So that was exciting. So it is going to be a good truck. In fact, I ran 2 seconds faster laps than I've ever run on that track before. Same track, same engine, same tires. So yeah, this truck is going to work. It's going to be a good one. Just a little humorous story. Then we'll end this. The main event last night, I was fortunate enough to have two good friends of mine, Darrell and Don Forrest, pitting me. They're both, extremely good at this hobby. Run truggy, buggy, electric, fuel. Been doing it a long time, and really made me feel comfortable with them fueling me. Everything was going fine in 20-minute main, which requires 2 fuel stops, and I had two senior moments back to back. Called me in for fuel, and I'm pulling into the pits for fuel. Of course, there's a little elevated ramp when you come in, and I wasn't going particularly fast. Just misjudged it and rolled off the ramp right back onto the track. Thank God I landed on its wheels. I did a U-turn, came back up slowly, did the same thing again. So frustrated, and Darrell's so quick, he just ran over there finally and picked me up and threw a load of fuel in it, and off we went, and the rest of the race was relatively uneventful. And thanks to him, we salvaged a 4th place finish out of it. But when you get this old, things happen. I guess some things happen to everybody, but I was really frustrated when it happened. I look back at it now, and it was just funnier than heck. That's kind of it on this. I hope I answered some questions. Those modifications, absolutely, there's a little bit of time, a little bit of Dremel work, and about $8 out of pocket, and the truck gets really, really good. What I did, there's 2 setup sheets at Associated's website on this truck, one from Cavallari at Silver State, and the other one from Steve Ripken, who lives here in Phoenix area. And his was from the DNC, which was run at this track on this configuration. So that is the one that I put in this truck. And it was a world of difference. I'm sure he does a few other little things, but they're very explicit in their setup sheets exactly as far as grinding these control arms and putting the spacers in and moving the rear down links to the rear. And of course the hinge pin bushings, which ones to put where, and it all worked. So, I thank him. In fact, he was out the track last night. He comes out and runs with us quite frequently when he's in town. Really, really nice young man. I enjoy talking with him. That kind of ends this little segment, so we're going to dig into the parts bins here and get our control arms and stuff squared away after we get this thing cleaned up. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I thank Darrell and Don Forrest for a great job in getting me through the fiasco that I created there. They were just absolutely super. Alrighty, everybody stay safe. Have a great Sunday, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.